here to tell you about my guy that I'm getting married to. His name is Nolan Lloyd, and we met when we didn't want to. I had a friend that I was working with, and she knew I had recently gotten separated and was just working, going to school, taking care of my kids, and she was like, I want you to meet my friend. And I was like, no, I don't want to be bothered. And she was like, yes, yes, yes. She's one of those friends that wouldn't say no. And so eventually I gave her my number to give to the guy to call. And he didn't call me. She kept nagging me. And I was like, okay, fine, give me his number and I'll call him. So one day I called him and he answered. I was like, darn it, why did he answer that? And I think that we both felt the same way. Like, we didn't want to really be bothered with anyone, but we did it because the other person was peer pressuring us to. But we talked on the phone that evening, and we talked for 3 hours. It was weird. We got to know each other. We got to realize
someone who just allows me to be me, so free. Didn't know just what I was looking for.
Shortly, I'm going to be marrying the love of my life, Nicole Howard. I never expected to meet a woman quite like her. I don't even know where to begin with this. Years ago, I was just sort of living my life. Didn't care much about having a girlfriend or looking. I didn't date or anything. I just sort of kept to myself and went to work. And that's what I did day in and day out. Not very much to speak of. One day, one of my co-workers said that his wife had a friend that I might be interested in, and I'm not one for blind dates, so of course I told him. I tried to politely decline, and this was one of those things where he kept asking me about it, and this is day in and day out for a couple of weeks, and eventually I said, okay, fine, give her my number and I'll call her and I'll talk to her. Of course, the first few times the phone rang, I never answered, because I was always figuring, like, I don't feel like being bothered with this sort of just interrupting my life. But eventually I did pick up the phone, and there was this amazing woman on the other end, so we talked for hours.
And every day since then, I mean, like, we talked on the phone every day. He got home from work, I got home from work, we talked on the phone, Now, at this point, we hadn't seen each other yet. We talked on the phone every day for a month, and we finally decided, let's meet. So we made up a plan, came up with a date, said we're gonna just go hang out no matter what, we're friends. And we met, and surprisingly, he was different than I expected. But, you know, the first night was fun. It was very funny. A lot of memories that night.
Someone who just allows me to be me, so free.
Now I can't imagine not being able to talk to her, or not even seeing her for that matter, for any extended length of time. But I wasn't looking to meet her, and I never thought I needed anyone in my life like that. But she kind of showed me that.
I just have to tell you, you're beautiful, beautiful to me. In my life,
Shortly after that, the person that hooked us up, she passed away, which kind of sucked in a weird way, because it made us, like, even closer. He was the one that called me and told me she passed, and I was like, wow. She gave me this friend, and now she's gone. and she's not here today to even be a part of what's going on today. It's 7 years later, and we're getting married and starting a new life together. And thanks to her,
didn't know just what I was looking for. Didn't know just what I'd find. Didn't know that you would give me such amazing joy, such peace of mind. I will always be right here for you. I will be right by your side.
The woman who originally tried to get us together shortly after I met Nicole and talked to her for a while died, and Nicole took it pretty hard. And I tried to be there for her, and it was kind of an awkward situation because I didn't know Nicole that well at that time. And I also had the unfortunate experience of having to work with her husband at the same time. So not only did I have to help Nicole deal with the issue, I also had to help him. But it did bring me and Nicole closer together, and I think that's really where we started to bond and come really close and really come to depend on one another. It's been some time now, close to 7 years, and it's been an amazing journey, and I expect it to get nothing but better and go nowhere but up from here.
We're getting married on October 17th, and it's kind of weird because I kind of wanted to get married on 10/10/10. And of course he thought I was crazy, but that's the date I wanted. I started asking and questioning around about getting somewhere on that day, and it was impossible. And it turned out that we could get a date for October 17th, which is so weird because the more we tried to put things in order, the more it had its own course, and it seemed like October 17th was the day to get things everything went our way for that day. After we put some thought into it, we was like, hey, that's the day we first saw each other. Our first meeting that we had.
Everyone should know you're the one, the only one I love. This is real with every beat of my heart.
And it was just weird. He reminded me of the date because I couldn't remember the date. So I think that that we have a very long journey ahead of us. I'm having fun planning the wedding, of course.
I let her take the reins on this one.
And of course, like every man, they don't want to have nothing to do with the wedding. It's hard to get them to plan anything, get straight answers, but you know, it's all good. It's my day anyway. That's what they keep telling me. So, that's all right. As long as we end on a happy note that day, I'm excited. I can't wait for it to be over or starting, for the day to just go where it needs to go.
Such amazing joy, such peace of mind. I will always be right here for you. I will be right by your side. It is you that I adore. You make